Hello everybody, it's Mr. Q again. What's up? I hope you guys are staying safe and having fun. Alright, today we continue our travel series. That's right. We are beginning part 6 of our travel series. Part 6 is going to be dealing with everything from the departure gate to the arrival gate. Right? Today we're talking about the flight. And there are 2 parts to part 6, and today's will be part 1. So, you've been sitting patiently at the gate, waiting for your flight. Now, occasionally, while sitting at your gate, waiting for your flight, there could be some problems with your flight. Either the flight coming in could be delayed, or canceled, or the airplane has arrived but there might be some mechanical issues, or there's some other thing that needs to be dealt with. And so I want to talk about how you should act and what you should think when these kind of things happen, because inevitably, if you travel enough, it will happen. The most important thing to think about when there is an issue with your flight is to stay calm. And above all, treat the gate person with respect and patience. They are going to have to deal with everybody on that flight probably, and some of them inevitably will not be nice to them, and that makes their job much harder. And believe me, they want to help people, they want people to take their flights, but these people have absolutely no control of the situation. All they can do is relay information to you. And probably the people that the information's coming from also don't have control over anything. So these people at the gate who are giving you information about your flight, they have no control. They can't help the situation with the actual plane, but they can help the situation for you. And I know you might be upset or might get frustrated, but please try your best to stay calm, stay friendly, and they will be much more likely to help you quickly and to help you with some extras that they might not help you with otherwise. I mean, there's a chance they could give you an airport voucher, there's a chance that they could expedite your ticketing for a next plane or something. So be nice to these people, treat them with respect, and they're going to do their job to the best of their ability. One thing to think about while sitting at the gate is that maybe you have a long layover, or you're very tired and you might fall asleep there. I know it's not super comfortable and it's not maybe very easy to fall asleep, but there's a chance that you could. So I would recommend that since you might be asleep, it might be a good idea to set an alarm on your phone or your watch or whatever. That way, just in case you do fall asleep, and just in case you somehow have a good rest while you're sleeping, you'll be able to be awake and aware in plenty of time to deal with anything happening with your gate. Because if you wake up right before your plane is supposed to board, but they changed gates on you, then you're going to be running through the airport trying to find your next gate. So set an alarm. That way you're awake early enough to be able to deal with any challenges or any thing that comes up that isn't what you expected. Occasionally flights get canceled or moved or whatever, and sometimes the airline has no control over that. Could be a mechanical issue, and you might be on one of the last flights of the day, so there's no other planes that they can change you to, so they're just gonna have to change your flight, and they're gonna have to change the flight for everybody. So everybody will have to stand in line and talk to the gate people and have them change their flights for them. And this could take a long time to deal with. So I recommend, if that happens to you, to call customer service. So it doesn't matter what airline you're flying with, and it doesn't matter if you used a company to buy your ticket through. They always have customer service, and they can help you just the same as the gate people can help you. So if you're not one of the first people in line at the gate counter, then it might be a good idea to call customer service, and you could probably get through to them faster, and they'll have options for you that might not be available to you by the time you work your way through the line to get to the front of the gate counter. So they might have options and different flights or different times or different destinations even maybe that they can send you to get you going on your trip. So call customer service and jump the line. Stay in line, of course, just in case. Stay in line. But while you're standing in line, call customer service, and they might be able to help you out and give you some options that you might not be able to get by waiting in the line. You may have gotten comfortable waiting for your flight, right? You might have taken out your comfort items, your neck pillow, your slippers, you might have been charging your phone. Sometimes it's not possible to charge your phone right next to you. Sometimes you have to put it over there at the charging station while you sit somewhere else. Yes, you can still watch it and make sure it doesn't get taken, but you might not be able to sit right next to it. So just remember that when your flight is preparing to board, that you pack everything and do a double check, right? Make sure you've packed everything. Make sure you've collected your charger and your phone. Because even for me, sometimes it's happened to me. I one time was charging my phone away from me, and then I got all busy with packing things and getting in line and going through the gate and stuff. And when I got to the plane, I was like, oh no, my phone. And so I was like, oh, I left my phone out there. And the people necessarily won't keep you from leaving the plane, but it's frowned upon that once you enter the plane that you go back out of the plane and then back onto the plane. That they don't like that. So it's important that you double check, because they may not let you off the plane, especially if the plane's about to leave, and especially if they've already closed the door. So I was fortunate. I was one of the first people boarding, and then I realized, and so I was able to go back out, and luckily my phone and my charger were still there where I left them charging. But very easily my phone and charger could have disappeared. They could have gotten stolen, or I could have fully forgot about it, and then my flight could have left, and there's my phone sitting in the airport charging. So make sure that you double check everything. Make sure you get your phone and charger, and that way you'll have it all ready for when you get on the plane, and you can get comfortable on the plane. I know, your flight is boarding and you're tempted to get in the giant line that's forming, right? Now, if you're not one of the first people in that line, and you weren't able to pre-board because you were not with a child or with somebody, or you have a disability, then you may end up in the back of this really long line. And I ask you, why does it matter if you get in line at the back of that line or if you wait a little bit? Remember, I did tell you that it's good to get on as one of the first people to make sure that you have more time to get comfortable, so that you can have guaranteed space above your seat for your carry-on. But in the end, there's going to probably be space for your carry-on, and there'll be availability for you to get comfortable. You just might not be able to do it before they push back from the gate is all. So I personally try not to get up until it's getting close to my boarding group. Some airlines say just board everybody, but usually most airlines have boarding groups. So group A, group B, or they board by rows, row 1 through 10, 11 through 15. So pay attention to that. And if they board in a sequential order, starting with row 1, and you're not boarding until row 40, you don't need to get in line yet. Relax. Wait till the group before your group and then go get in line, right? It's okay. You're gonna get on the plane.
Enjoy your flight. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. We're only boarding rows 9 and above right now. You'll have to wait.
Well, I'm in row 8.
Please step aside, sir.
It's just one row. Don't you think it's okay if I...
We'll call your row momentarily. Step aside, sir. Thank you for waiting. We'd like to continue boarding the aircraft now. We're now boarding all rows, please. All remaining rows. Hello. Enjoy your flight.
And checking in through the gate, you will still need your identification, your ID or your passport, and you're going to need your boarding pass. Then, once you're through the gate, you won't need your passport or ID anymore, but you may still need your boarding pass so that the steward and stewardesses on the plane can direct you to where your seat is and which side of the plane it's on. So they'll likely want to see your boarding pass one more time. So don't put the boarding pass away quite yet. You can put your passport and other stuff away if you want, and because you're going to need it probably again, and you will definitely need it if you have to take a shuttle to your plane, because some airports are smaller and they don't have direct access from the airport gangway into an airplane. They might have to take you out to the plane, and then you enter the plane from some stairs directly into the plane. So at that, you'll probably need a boarding pass at that point also. It's just another double. Remember, this is a time of safety. They're constantly checking, one, to make sure that you're supposed to be on the flight, and two, they want to help you find your seat faster and easier so that you don't hold up everyone behind you, right? And so that you can get seated and they can get on their way faster. So they will probably check your ticket a few times at the gate, and then before you get on the plane. All right, guys, let's recap what we talked about today. So we talked about how you are waiting patiently at the gate, right? And occasionally there might be problems with your flight. So we talked about, regardless of what happens with your flight, try to stay calm and be polite and nice and respectful to the gate people. They want to help you, but they'll want to help you a little less if you're mean to them. If you are disrespectful to them, they will still try to help you, but they're not going to like it, and they're not going to do anything extra to help you. So be nice to them. Treat them with respect, because maybe the person next to you is not going to be nice to them, and that's just going to make every bit of this situation much more stressful. So do yourself a favor. Be nice. You know, just remember, they don't have control over the situation. They're just giving you information that they've been given. So, it's okay to be nice to them. If they do need to change your flight, while you're standing in line to change your flight, call customer service. They might be able to help you faster and give you options that might not be available to you by the time you get to the front of the line. Also, if you're waiting at the gate, put an alarm clock just in case you might fall asleep. That way you'll be able to wake up and not miss your flight. Or you'll be up early enough that if they change the gate and you didn't hear it, you can get to the next gate. Alright? So, I also don't recommend getting in line until it's closer to your boarding group. So, I mean, the group before yours, start getting in line maybe. Some airlines just board everybody all at once. That's kind of annoying. So, but in the end, you're going to get on the plane and there will likely be place for you to put your bag. So, you know, unless you're just one of those people, I'm not particularly worried about standing in line for 10 minutes waiting to get on the plane, you know. I'll stay seated until the line is shorter. That's me personally. And don't forget, to get through the gate, you'll need your passport and your boarding pass. But once you get past the gate, you will probably still need your boarding pass. So don't put that away. Keep it out. Alright? So, these are just some things that you should consider and think about that could happen while you wait for your flight. So, for today's homework, I'd like you guys to think about a scenario where your flight just got canceled. Oh man, so bad, right? And I want you guys to think of a dialogue that you could use to help get your new flight easier, right? So think about what you would say to the gate attendant when you get to talk with them about your flight. What are you going to say? What do you think they want to hear from you so that they will help you as much as they can help you, right? So, come up with a dialogue. What can you say to be nice to them, to get them to change your flight, and maybe even to give you an airport voucher for the inconvenience? Alright? So, come up with this dialogue, and then you and a partner in the class can say these to each other. Alright? That's it for me today, guys. We'll see you next time when we continue on with part 2 of this 6th part of our travel series. Alright, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.